July 21st, Beijing. More than 25 people died after record-breaking rainfall flooded underground railway tunnels in China, leaving passengers trapped in rising waters, and more rains are forecast for the region. In the provincial capital Zhengzhou, the equivalent of a year's average rainfall had fallen in just 3 days. Some of the city's flood defenses were compromised, and water started running down into the railway tunnels. Videos shared on social media showed evening passengers struggling to keep their heads above water. Water was rushing to platforms. One survivor wrote on the Chinese social network site Weibo about this horrible experience. She described how water leaked through the doors, rising slowly from their ankles to their knees to their necks, all of them who could stand on the subway seats. Children were lifted out of the water by their parents, while others threw off anything which might hold them down. More than 500 people were eventually rescued from the tunnels in Khanan province. Elsewhere in the central Chinese city, children had to be rescued from a flooded nursery school. Days of rain have caused extensive damage and led to 200,000 evacuations. Above ground, roads turn into rivers, with cars and debris swept along in fast-moving drifts. Several pedestrians had to be rescued. In total, 25 people died in Khanan province, and more than a dozen cities were affected. Several dams and reservoirs had breached warning levels, and soldiers had been mobilized to divert rivers that have burst their banks. Flights and trains in many parts of Khanan had also been suspended. Hello everyone, welcome to World of China. In today's video, we are talking about the recent catastrophic flood impacted by China's unplanned reservoirs discharging and dam failures. Stay tuned with us and make sure you hit the subscribe button. This flood affected nearly 12 provinces directly and caused mass destruction. That's primarily caused by the release of Shandron reservoirs. According to Chinese media, Khanan province had 66 large and medium-sized reservoirs overflooded. To ensure the safety of the dams and reservoirs, several of them were set free to release water. These released water caused an overflow of river waters, and the water rushed into the city. It washed away the riverbanks with people, roads, or whatever was on its way. If we sum up the quantity of these dams and reservoirs, their total capacity is more than 100 million cubic meters. The Chinese army warned that a dam in rain-drenched Khanan province could collapse at any time. And it caused so much damage, local media described it as a 1-in-1,000-year weather event. According to the sources, the People's Liberation Army stated in a statement, on 20th of July, a 20-meter breach occurred at the Yihetan Dam. The riverbank was severely damaged and the dam may collapse at any time. And then on the evening of 20th of July, the army exploded the dam to release floodwaters, giving no details on how the blast was carried out. Thousands of dams were built in the 1950s and 1960s in a rush supervised by Mao Zedong to defend against drought in a largely agrarian China. In 2006, the Ministry of Water Resources said, between 1954 and 2005, dams had collapsed at 3,486 reservoirs due to the substandard quality and poor supervision. It wasn't clear if record-breaking rains were to blame for the Shazixi fall, or the dam's emergency spillway had been blocked by silt, or it was a design obstacle. The Water Resources Department in the area refused to talk. The county government didn't answer a request for an explanation. In Guangxi in southwestern China, rainfall and temperatures were on average significantly higher in 1990 to 2018 compared with the previous 21 years, official data shows. David Shankman, a geographer at the University of Alabama who studies Chinese floods. In his words, it was the extreme events that put dams at risk, but a dam should be able to withstand extreme events even if they become regular, and when the flood is over, it should be exactly of the same quality as before the event, if the dam was properly designed and built. According to a report at the Shazixi Reservoirs Monitoring Station, the 151.2-meter-tall dam was built with a once-every-2-century worst-case scenario in mind, in which water was expected to reach 149.48 meters. But it overflowed. In the county seat of Yangshuo in June, more rain fell in 3 hours than normally falls in 2 months. The Ministry of Water Resources didn't respond to a request for comment. In what could be another sign of concern to come, the water behind a dam on a stream of the Yangtze River grew so sharply, officials were forced to blow up part of the dam to lower the level. Black Swan, China's most damaging dam disaster, The Bangkiao and the Yellow River, formed in 1952 with Soviet assistance, collapsed in 1975. It killed more than 10,000 people, official surveys published 2 decades later revealed. In a recent news conference, Ye Jianqun, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Water Resources, claimed that he was confident about the flood control projects on major rivers. They were capable of handling the largest flood seen since the founding of the People's Republic of China. But Ye was not so certain concerning dams and other rivers, saying extreme floods may surpass the defensibility of the engineering to result in a black swan event. Aware of the risks, authorities have been bolstering and raising old dams and stepping up maneuvers. New dams are planned to expand storage capacity. North of Yangshuo and Qingshitan is the biggest dam in the area. The banks of the river into which it drains have been shown up since last month, and climate change is leading to a new normal of extremes, and flood risk management decided a decade or 2 ago is no longer enough. If we talk about the flood management system of China, we will see that the core of flood management planning in the PRC has been and should continue to be at the river basin scale. This recognition led to the creation of RBCs, commencing with the Yellow River Basin and then extending to other main river basins. River basins' flood control plans are the large-scale master plans for flood management activities, although many await reformulation to reflect the strategic shift from heavily reliance on structural flood control to more integrated flood management. Large-scale river basins in the PRC make the integration of flood management planning very challenging. The Yangtze and Yellow River basins are among the world's largest, extending over areas larger than most countries and sustaining hundreds of millions of people. Within each basin, the complexities of geography, climate, and hydrology, land use, patterns of urban and rural settlement, and systems for infrastructure for flood management and water resources exploitation present additional challenges of scale to effective planning. Despite these challenges of scale, integration of flood management at the river basin scale remains of paramount importance. According to their River Basin Master Plan, at a more comprehensive planning level, river basin master plans for flood management should cover the entire river basin, not just main river systems. A more holistic approach is required if catchment management aspects such as soil conservation and rural and upper watershed land use practices are to assume their proper role in integrated flood management. A key lesson of Chinese flood risk management is learning to live with flood risks. In their flood risk management policy, they said, people and governments need to recognize that the risks of danger and damages from floods cannot be eliminated, and they must instead learn to accept some degree of risk in return for the benefits to be derived from using land subject to flood risk. And well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Give this video a big thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment box. For more exciting videos, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. I'll be back with another exciting video soon. Till then, check out our channel for more exciting videos and stay tuned.